Hello everyone, welcome to Gosport Railworks. My name is James and today I'll be finishing off my Southern Railway E1 class, which I started with on the LBSC E1 Class build because they're basically a very similar class. It's just that this one had a pony truck added to the end and also reworked cabin area and a few other little changes. So that's the reason why I built them all together. If you remember from that video, I did try to use the Dapol 4500 class chassis. However, that was actually far too short. So yeah, I'll be using the Sonic Models 5600 class because it's actually a 062, so it's the right wheel arrangement, and the wheels are also in the roughly the right spot. So that's why I'll be using this one instead. I do have to say this model was actually specifically bought for this kit. So I know people don't like it when I reuse perfectly good kit chassis from perfectly good models, but unfortunately I didn't know how to get spares for this one. So I did buy this this was second hand, and somebody's enjoyed it already. And yeah, it's the only way I could actually get this chassis. I picked it up fairly cheap anyway. So yeah, I've already removed all the screws. So we take off the body, take off the weight there, remove the motor and the circuitry, remove the other weights, which are a bit more difficult to get out because they're past this lug. There we go. There you go. That's a bit awkward, that one. And then finally, remove the footplate. This is how we get this prepared for us to start with. And that's the basic chassis. The main work which we have to do is we have to basically just underneath, really, because can't do too much up here. I was thinking about rounding this off up top, but unfortunately the motor is just about higher than it, so it's not really going to do too much difference. So this body will run a little bit high, but with a lack of any other suitable chassis, I'd have to do with what I've got. But all the work we have to do is, if you see this little bit of gold paint here, that's how much we're cutting off from the front. And on the back here, the only work we have to do is basically get this coupling pushed in, basically. And instead of sticking out here, you need to go back about 5mm, so it's a bit more deep in here. So yes, that's the main work for that. May need to do a little bit more. Well, main things we do have to do is add more weight to the inside of it, just to make up for the lack of weight which we removed. But that's a decent amount of weight. There's a bit of weight there, bit of weight there, and yeah, that's a fairly chunky bit of weight. So yeah, we try to replace that as best as we can. Just some lead tape on the inside, really. It's not going to be this much, but still better than nothing. For the body, we will be making a little bit more of a gap here, just to make it so that it's at least sitting, even though it's not all the way down, it's at least sitting in the right spot, at least. Then do all the detail work on here, and then paint it up and all the other lot, which we'll be doing. So that is the main course of action. Oh, and one thing, we won't be having this circuit board in here. We'll be replacing it with just a little bit of well, I say PCB, it's a little bit of a fretboard, or whatever it's called. Just stick it, pop it in there, or split into two and pop it in there, just to make it easier to solder the motor onto the actual chassis, because this is a split chassis design. So yeah, that's the main bit of work, and make sure I don't lose some screws I need. I think it's them too. Yes. So yeah, that'll be what I'll be doing. So the main work you'll be seeing is just me doing all the cosmetic work on this. So I'll show you the before and after for this lot. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit when it's all done. Hopefully it'll look and run rather nicely. So see you in a bit. The Southern Railway E1R is a class of 062 tank steam locomotive designed for light passenger and freight duties. They were built from the earlier LBSC E1 Class 060 locomotive, which was originally built in 1874 and 1883. The rebuilt locomotives were intended to be used in the west of England. In 1927, there was a surplus of Stroudley E-tanks in service on the central section of the Southern Railway, many of which were in good condition as they had been fitted with Lancer boilers by Douglas Marsh after 1911. At the same time, there was a need for additional tank locomotives in the western section for use in shunting, station piloting, and particularly for services on the North Cornwall line to Padstow. 10 locomotives had their frames extended, bunkers and water tanks enlarged at Brighton Works over the next 2 years. A penny truck of the same design as the N-class locomotive was also added to create a radial trailing axle, making them 062s. The rebuilt locomotives were dispatched to the western section during 1928 and 1929 and found to be successful. However, some complaints from passengers about rough riding on the meandering North Cornwall line were addressed by having the locomotives on this line rebalanced by Bullied to produce a better result during 1936, while other 6 locomotives that weren't balanced were restricted to local passenger shunting and banking duties. The new class performed well for nearly 20 years, but withdrawal commenced in 1955, and they were finally all replaced by Ivett's Prairie tanks by 1959. After all the E1R class were replaced, all 10 of the locomotives had been scrapped, leaving none to be preserved. Right, here we are with the nearly finished E1R class on my layout. I say nearly finished in that, well, there's only one thing left to do, and that's to add a little bit of coal, which I've left for now, mainly just so I can finish off recording this video, and I can do that off camera, mainly because it just takes its time a little bit. So that will be done, just not quite now. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with how it runs. It wasn't also too bad to modify the chassis. Let's show you quickly. Right, the front, it's basically, I just got some clippers and basically just cut the front off. It was already, well, since it's a split chassis design, chassis, it basically was in 2 parts anyway. So I basically just clipped them off and filed that down. The rear, I basically cut it off as well, and then found a little nook to hide, well, not hide the coupling, but to pop the coupling in, so it's not sticking out too far, and mostly firmly held in there. And it does run mostly well. So I'll just show you. There we go. And there is enough space in there for the DCC decoder as well. and also a fair amount of weight, because I managed to get the weight back up to about 30 grams, just over, maybe a bit more once the coal's in. Just going to speed it up so I can go around. Recording on the inside of the layout today, just because it's then you can see it a bit more better. There we go. And yeah, from the original weight of, I think it was about 45, and it's lost about 15 grams. So it's a bit of a loss, but considering this is a smaller engine, I'm surprised I managed to actually save that much weight, really. Yeah, that went quite nicely. Now, one thing about the design which may be a problem, that the lugs which hold on the coupling rod do get a bit caught with the rear steps. It's the only design problem which it is. So if you are going to buy this, do take that into account, and maybe try basically brass steps or something thinner, because I'm not too sure how much thinner I can make these and make sure it all holds together. So just something to take into account. But yeah, the only thing it does really is that it just locks up. It's not too bad for a little bit, but prolonged reversing can make it lock up. But as always, on camera now, it's either behaving when I'm telling you it's going to mess itself up, or if it tell you it's working fine. Oh, that's stalled a little bit. There we go. Yeah, always on camera, it does the exact opposite of what I just said. So yes, but it's just something to take into account. Just be a bit mindful of the rear steps. Maybe forward ones if you want to, just be careful. But yeah, that's the only thing which you really need to be careful about. Otherwise, it generally fits the chassis well. It's just a little bit too high, but I can't lower it anymore, because well, the bit which I plan to reduce in height, I can't really reduce in height because the motor is actually higher. So this is as far down as I can get it, because otherwise I'll be removing the motor. So unless you want to put a smaller motor in, no, feel free to have a go, but I'll be just having it at this height, and I'm still happy with it like this. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So yeah, do let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like it? Do you not like it? I know I may have annoyed people by using a already working model to make this, but it's the only way I could get the chassis really. So yeah, oh well. But yeah, do let me know what you think in the comments. If you like it, do feel free to like, comment and subscribe. And if you don't like it, feel free to, well, I hope you enjoy your day anyway. And yeah, I hope to see everyone next time. So take care now, and I'll send the E1R off on its way. The first Southern Railway tank which I've built myself. Take care now. Bye bye. There we go.